Welcome back to Le Podcast de Philippe. For today's deep dive, we're going to be looking at a really interesting trend in AI.
Okay.
AI chatbots are starting to rely more and more on trusted news sources. We've got some research here about how companies like Google and OpenAI are actually partnering up with some big names in news,
Interesting.
which really makes me wonder, what does this mean for us, the people who actually need accurate information?
Well, this is a huge shift. We're
Yeah.
seeing these partnerships appear all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, take Mistral AI, for example. They're a friend company, and they've teamed up with Agence France-Presse,
The AFP.
right, AFP, to give their chatbot, Le Chat, access to a massive archive of news articles.
Wow.
And these go all the way back to 1983.
That's a long time.
Yeah, millions of dispatches.
Wow, that's really incredible. But I got to ask, why would a chatbot need access to news that's decades old?
Right?
Isn't the point of these bots to give us the most up-to-date information?
That's a great question. Think about it this way. Let's say you're asking your AI assistant about, a current event, maybe like a political conflict.
Right.
Now, having access to that deep archive means that the chatbot can give you not just the breaking news,
Yeah.
but also the historical context. So you can see how similar situations have played out in the past, and it'll give you a much richer understanding of what's happening right now.
So it's not just about, what's happening at this very second, but also understanding the bigger picture.
Exactly.
Sounds like this could be a really powerful tool for learning and making informed decisions.
Absolutely. And we're seeing other companies get on board with this too. Google's AI Gemini has partnered with the Associated Press
Oh, wow.
to tap into their real-time news feed. So while Mistral AI is focused on that historical depth,
Okay.
Google's going for speed and that immediacy.
It's interesting to see those different strategies emerge.
Yeah.
But the common thread is this focus on reliability.
Right.
They're partnering with news sources known for their accuracy and fact-checking.
Yeah.
This could be a game changer when we're talking about misinformation.
I think you're absolutely right. By grounding these AI chatbots in factual information, we might actually see a reduction in the spread of false or misleading content online.
That's amazing.
It's like building trust into the system right from the start.
Yeah, that's a really encouraging thought.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got these two approaches so far. We've got looking back at history with Le Chat
Right.
and staying on top of the present with Gemini.
Yeah.
What other partnerships are we seeing?
Well, OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT,
Right.
is taking a bit of a hybrid approach. They're forming partnerships with several outlets,
Okay.
including Le Monde, the Financial Times, and Axios.
Okay, so they're diversifying their sources.
Right.
What's the strategy there?
I think, for one thing, it gives their chatbot a wider range of perspectives.
Makes sense.
Each of these publications has its own unique style and editorial focus.
Yeah.
By tapping into all of them, ChatGPT can offer a more well-rounded view of the world.
It's like building a more balanced diet for the AI.
Mm.
Instead of just getting information from one source, it's getting a variety of nutrients, so to speak.
Exactly. And one partnership in particular stands out.
Okay.
OpenAI is working with Axios, and they're actually funding the expansion of local news coverage
Really?
in 4 U.S. cities.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So it's not just about using existing news. They're actually contributing to the creation of new news content. What's the thinking there?
Well, I think they recognize the importance of local news in a healthy media ecosystem.
Okay.
By supporting local journalism, they're helping to make sure that people have access to information that's relevant to their community.
It's like they're investing in the foundation of reliable news, not just the top layer.
Exactly. And it's not just altruism either. Having access to more local news helps make their chatbot more well-rounded and informative.
So it's a win-win. This is already giving me so much to think about.
Right.
So we've got these AI companies partnering with trusted news sources to improve accuracy,
Right.
provide historical context, stay up to date, and even expand local news coverage.
Yeah.
It's clear that they're trying to position these chatbots as reliable sources of information themselves. But what does that actually look like in practice?
Well, let's take a closer look at how these partnerships are actually changing the way these chatbots work.
Okay.
And more importantly, what it means for the way we consume news. Let's say you're really interested in that recent international trade agreement.
Okay.
You ask LeChat for a summary of it.
Yeah.
Now, instead of just getting a basic rundown, the chatbot could actually pull up those relevant articles from AFP's archive,
Oh, wow.
showing you how those similar agreements have played out in the past, maybe even highlighting the economic impacts that they had.
So it's like you're getting a crash course in trade history
Right.
alongside your news update.
Yeah.
You're not just getting the information, you're actually getting real insight.
Exactly. And that depth of knowledge, I mean, that could really change the way we approach decision making,
Yeah.
not just on like a personal level, but even at a policy level.
It's pretty fascinating to think about how access to that kind of historical data could change things.
Yeah.
But what about staying up to the minute?
Right.
That's where Gemini's partnership with the AP comes in.
Exactly. Let's say there's a breaking news event, um, like a natural disaster,
Right.
with its real-time connection to the AP.
Yeah.
Gemini could provide like on-the-ground updates, maybe even safety information,
Wow.
much faster than traditional news outlets.
It makes you wonder if we'll even need to go to news websites or watch TV news anymore, if we can just get it all from an AI assistant.
Well, it's definitely a possibility,
Yeah.
but I think these partnerships are more likely to change the way those traditional news outlets actually operate.
Okay.
They might have to like adapt to focus more on in-depth analysis and investigative journalism,
Makes sense.
leaving the rapid-fire updates to the
Yeah.
AI.
It's like a relay race for information.
Right.
A very apt analogy.
Mhm.
And that kind of brings us back to OpenAI's multi-pronged approach.
Right.
They're not just relying on that historical data or the real-time feeds.
Right.
They're trying to curate a diverse mix of sources to give ChatGPT a more well-rounded view.
Right. We talked about their partnerships with Le Monde,
Yes.
the Financial Times, and Axios. What's interesting to me is how each of those sources brings something different to the table.
Exactly.
Le Monde offers a European perspective. The Financial Times focuses on business and finance, and Axios is known for its concise to-the-point reporting style.
It's about providing that balanced information diet for the AI
Yeah.
and their partnership with Axios.
Right.
Specifically, their investment in local news is really intriguing.
Yeah. Funding the expansion of local news coverage in those 4 cities could really be a game changer.
Right.
It's not just about making the AI smarter.
Yeah.
It's about strengthening the very fabric of news reporting.
Precisely.
Hmm.
And by supporting local news, OpenAI might actually be helping to combat the spread of misinformation.
At a grassroots level, local reporters are often the first to identify and debunk false information that's circulating within their communities.
It's like they're building a network of truth tellers, both human and AI, working together to ensure that people have access to reliable information.
Mm-hmm.
This whole topic is making me think about the future of news in a whole new way.
Me too. I mean, we're witnessing a fundamental shift in how news is produced and consumed.
Yeah.
It's exciting and, a little bit daunting to think about where it's all headed.
Right.
But one thing's for sure, AI is going to play a major role in shaping the future of news.
Absolutely. And as AI becomes more entwined with news, it begs the question, how will this impact us, the news consumers?
Well, that's the question we'll be exploring next. We'll delve into the potential impacts of these AI news partnerships on individual societies and even the very nature of truth itself.
Wow, can't wait.
Stay tuned.
We've talked about how these AI companies are partnering with these trusted news sources, and it seems like they're really trying to, make these chatbots into reliable sources of information themselves.
It's a fascinating development.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder.
What does this mean for us, the people who are relying on these chatbots for information?
Well, imagine a world where your AI assistant doesn't just tell you the news,
Okay.
but also explains the historical context,
Wow.
helps you analyze different perspectives, and even fact checks things for you in real time.
That sounds almost too good to be true.
Right.
Could AI actually help us become more informed and more engaged citizens?
I mean, it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
If these partnerships actually do lead to more accurate and accessible information,
Right.
it could really empower people to make more informed decisions about everything from their personal lives to their communities to even global issues.
That would be amazing. But of course, there's some downsides too, right?
Oh, of course.
What about bias?
Right.
Or even the possibility that, these chatbots could be used to spread misinformation.
Yeah.
Even if it's unintentional.
Those are valid concerns.
Yeah.
And it's super important that we address those concerns now proactively.
Right.
We need to make sure that these AI systems are being developed responsibly.
Yeah.
And used responsibly with safeguards in place.
Right.
To, kind of lower those risks.
So it's not just about the technology itself, but also about how we actually use it.
Exactly.
And how we make sure that it helps humanity, not hurts it.
Exactly. We need to think critically about the role that AI is playing in our lives.
Yeah.
And we need to work together to create a future where it helps us understand the world.
Right.
Not, distort it.
I think this whole conversation has really opened my eyes to, the possibilities, but also the challenges of this new AI-powered news.
It's such a rapidly evolving landscape.
It really is.
And it's so important that we stay informed and engaged and ready to adapt, as these technologies continue to shape how we access and understand information.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive.
It has.
And I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of this topic.
I agree. There's so much more to explore as AI keeps becoming more intertwined with news and information.
So for all of you listening out there, keep learning, keep questioning.
Yeah.
Keep engaging with these conversations about the future of AI and its impact on the world.
Remember, in this age of information overload,
Right?
thinking critically is more important than ever.
Thank you for joining us on Le Podcast de Philippe. We'll see you next time.